Hey everyone, welcome back to this course. So in this chapter today, we'll continue building our menu using CSS only. So as you can see on the left side is up to where we reached in our last video. And our target for this today video is be able to have a list of submenus, okay, and have this arrow in here. And also when we hover, I should see this menu. If I go away, it should disappear. Okay, so make sure you subscribe and hit the alert button, so whenever I push a new video you can get a notification, so you can continue and finish your course. Okay, so let's go back to this. So I will just move this page here and I will go back to my HTML. So remember last time, for example, this product here, we created a sublist, a mock one to start with. But as you can see, we hide it because we don't want to be visible first time. So let's see how we can show it as a first stage when we hover. So that's me, we'll learn a new selector today as well. So I'll just search where is my item. Let me see back here and show you. So my menu is the main menu item and it's have a list. Okay, let's do one thing because we may have many other elements which are same. I will target this element using a class, so I can just copy paste it and things will just happen by themselves for other elements. So okay, so I will say this is my main menu item, we use it for styling, but I will say this one has sub items. Okay, so I'll copy this class here and I'll go back to my styles. I'll make sure to keep things of the menu next to each other. Okay, so that's my class. So what I will say is that when I hover on this item here, I want to show my list. So when I hover on this one, I want this list to be visible. Okay, we should remember here we hide it in here. So I say my class, and this is a new selector like this, and we say hover. So means whenever you hover with your mouse, whenever your mouse is on top of it like this, you don't click, you just hover on top of it. So I want, when this one is hover, I want the direct UL beneath it, and I'll tell you why. When the direct UL beneath it, I want it to be visible. So for now, it's a display block. Okay, remember we have display none before we use it to make it disappear. Display flex is to make things aligned. It's have separate rules. We did display inline block and this one display block. So inline block and block will make it visible for me. So for now I'll make it block. If I later have to change it to inline block or some other reason, we'll know why in that time, then I'll change it. For now I just want to make sure that my hover state is working. Okay, come here. There we go, you see? Don't see that flickery thing, we'll fix it later, but when I hover my product, it's visible. Okay, if I hover other thing, nothing happened. Okay, so I know that my hover is working now. Good. Good. Now you see this, the jumping thing. So basically what happened is, so you understand what's going on, is when I hover, I'm saying, okay, I want this list to be visible, right? So that's items you're adding. They have a space, they are taking a space, they have a height, they have a width, so it's taking a space. So when you're working with menus and sub items, actually those items should be floating, like you say, like something sitting on top of the page. I don't want it to be taking a space in it because it will not be there all the time. So what I will do, I will come to the sub menu list and I'll call it, give it a class so I can target that one. I will call it, I don't know, let's call it menu level 2, for example. Okay, I'm very bad at naming, but any name should make some sense. Okay, so I'll come back here, I'll target that class, I'll say, okay, I want this one to be absolute. So you have something called position absolute. That position absolute means it doesn't take any space in your page. It will be sitting, for example, on top of another content. Okay, then you use something like left, right, bottom, and top to position it. Okay, so let's see when I do this, what happened. I hover here, and it is absolute. As you can see, it doesn't take any space. This thing is not jumping anymore. It just show up there, which is good. We are getting there. Okay, now let's get into the styling. Okay, what I will do, I just pause the video for some time, get the styles done, and then copy paste it and go through it with you guys so I don't waste your time. Right, so I applied some styling, some basic one, so we can go through it. So if you can see now here, if I hover, I just add some border in here and some shadow so it's visible, and also some border between these items in here. Okay, so let me explain what I have done. So this is our list, the second list of the menu. You can see here under the product we add a class there before, so I target that one. I just add box shadow. If you can see it here, there's a shadow around, right? And I add flex direction. Actually, I don't need that flex. I think I'll just remove it because that thing will work by itself. Let me clean up as well. So we add box shadow and a border. So in actual design it's not there, but because they already have content in the page, so it's visible. But for me as a demo now, it will not show up. So I'm just trying to little bit change things so you can see it. You can see the changes on the screen. So what we did is that we said, okay, under my list, direct LI, so direct children. And why I'm doing direct here and there, because you may have a third level menu. So I don't want, when I hover on this one, to show also the other lists if it's there. Okay, if I'm hovering here, I only want to show the direct one. I don't want to show the third ones if I add them. And let me explain you. Let me go here and I'll add another list, another UL and another LI. Okay, level 3 menu. Okay, so when I do this, I don't, and over here I don't want to see others in here. Okay, if I remove this direct UL here, you see the other one will show up. You see that? I don't want that. Okay, so I'm saying when I hover on product, I want exact child. Okay, so the child, I only want to show the child. All right. Okay, now I came to the LIs themselves. I make a display flex, and you say why. The reason is I know later I want to add, for example, icons in here, so I want them display flex to be next to each other. Okay, so display flex, I make with 100% of the parents. I want minimum to be 202 pixels. I don't want them to be tiny. I want them to be nice and big. The text I want to be centered. The cursor I want to be pointer. So you see here it's like a hand. Then I add some margin on the top and some paddings here on the right and the left, and I add a border bottom. Okay, so the last one I'm leaving is this guy. You see here, because I said border bottom to all LIs is going to everyone, and the last child as well have it. So how we can fix that? Okay, let's say I want this one, and this is a new selector you will learn. Before we did hover, now we'll say there's something called last child. So the last child, whatever siblings you have, I have these siblings, for example, here. The last child will be this one of this UL. Okay, so I'm saying this level 2 menu, direct LIs, I want the last one. Okay, and I would say border bottom 0. Good, right? Now another thing, you say, okay, while designing this, whenever I do a change, I have to go and hover and then see my change if it's there. So that will be a bit nightmare when you're doing a really big project. So I'll show you a hack. Okay, when you come to your console log, which is F12, or right click, inspect, so it show you, I can do one thing. You click here, this cursor on the left, you go point here to find your elements. Okay, that's my product. So I know the children will show up when I do hover on this element, right? I will come here. You see on the right, this will not be visible for you sometimes. You click here. You see the hover, click it, it will show up. Then I'll click hover. So that will show you the state of the hover of these elements. Okay, if you didn't have it here in design, in your style, of course we do not do anything. But for us, we have is that when I hover on that element, I show this menu, so to show up there. And you can come here and you can try designs by yourself here. For example, let's say I want to see, oh, I want the background green, how it will look like. Okay, I want to see, I don't know, the width, how it will look like if I increase it, I don't know, 500 pixels. See, so you can try things here. When something works for you, then you just copy it and paste it for you here. Okay, so as soon you start doing development, this will make your life much easier. Okay, otherwise it's really struggle to do here, then go and refresh and see if it works, then not, then come back. And this is very basic scenario. You will fall in much complex scenarios. Okay, good. So now we have our menu. See, now if I here I save, it's a reload but keep my state, which is really good, and it's very helpful when I work on things like they're hidden and they're only shown in some states. Okay, now I'll refresh manually the screen so it goes away. Now we have our sublist. Okay, and now you will see what is the benefit of having common classes. If I say I want to add templates, okay, I'll just copy and paste this whole list with the same classes and just change the text. Templates, okay, and template 1 and template 2, template 3, and so on. So you see here it's added. So I hover, dun, dun, I don't have to do it by myself now. It just comes by itself with the CSS. Okay, now next one we have to do is how we can add these arrows in here. You see there? How we can add that one and how we can do these icons in here. Okay, so we will use something called Font Awesome, which is really awesome. Before we used to have to import images for these things, these icons, but as you have in bigger websites, and there are some companies who do really care about their performance and their website to be very speedy. When you have images, it slows down a little bit your content to be loaded and your page to be fully loaded, which might impact their customers and the user experience if they're having, I don't know, millions hits at once on their page, which is very rare, but yeah, scenarios happen. So the font also basically just a font for a text, but for displaying icons. So this is their website. As before, it was completely free. Now, of course, because they've been there for a long time, they have free version and they have paid version. So you may just enter your email here and they can send you the link that you can add your HTML. So I'll just enter my email. I'll pause for some time. So I created an account, they send me a confirmation email, I confirm it, and then you can X. So they give you a special script tag. So I will just do that. I'll not download the file and import it for now. This is easy. Copy the kit code, and where your script tag goes, so that's a new tag for you. It goes just here beneath a link, or it goes in the end of your body here. Okay, for now I'll just keep it in my head and I'll paste it here. Okay, so how do we use it? Let me go here, icons, and I want only the free icons because I'm not paying for anything at the moment. So let's say I want down anchor. Oops. Okay, I have to figure out what name to search for. Give me a minute. Right, so I have to write down arrow, and I can see this one looks almost same the one they're using in here. So I will just use this one. Hopefully this one is free. Okay, so you see here they give you options how to do it. So you have in the HTML, you have in React, and you have in Vue. So what I will do, I'll just copy. No, not Vue one. Okay, copy that one. What I will do, I will go next to my product and just paste it there, and let's see how it will look like. Okay, it didn't work. It must be some reason. Let me debug it out. Okay, the reason was because that one was paid, of course. Okay, so the one thing, when you started, if you do search, you go here and click free, to make sure you are picking up the free versions and only show you the free options. Okay, so basically I just use this one here, this HTML, just click and it's copied for you, and I'll just go here in my code and I paste it. Oh good. So as you can see, it is imported there. Easy, right? Now let's see one thing. I'll see if I can change the font size of this element. See, that's what I was saying before. You can just come here and try things. Because it is a font in the end, it's not images. You can actually change the font size for this. Okay, so I think that font size 12 pixels looks almost like, for me, like this one. Actually, this one is smaller. Let me make it 10. Okay, and also I want it to be far a little bit from my text. I'll say margin left. Let's see, 10 pixels, how it will look like. Nice. Okay, so what I will do, I'll come back here to my styles. I know this icon will be directly under my menu item. Okay, so I'll come copy this one here, and I can direct I tag. If you see here, we copy and paste it. It was an I tag. Okay, so I'll just copy and paste, use that tag actually, and I'll say, I'll copy this and paste it there. Easy. Nice, right? Now, if you see here in the template, they have some icons here next to them. Let's add those icons. I think their folder, I guess. They don't have same one, but for me, for now, I will just do that, or see if they have something called template. Yeah, they have something called template, but it's completely different. Book. I just want something close by. So it's like a file or a book. Or I can just go here and inspect it. Actually, there is not a font, so they use an actual image, but for me, I'll just stick to a font. And let me see if I find something close by. No, let's say file. Okay, I'll just use something close. Okay, I'll just use this one. This one looks nice and closer. So I'll come here and I'll go to template and I'll say this one like this. And what I will do, I will add actually this time an extra class, because I don't want to keep doing nested things. So what I'm doing, I'll call it menu item icon. Okay, I'll just copy. I should have done this before and copy paste the whole thing, but lesson learned. Okay, I'll just go here. I'll say okay, down here, because we need this one in the end, so I'll keep same structure here, and I'll say okay, this one will be margin right, because it came on the margin right. I'll say I want, let's say, 15 pixels away from my text, and I'll come here. I'll say, for example, the font size, because that icon's a bit big. Let's say font size, let's say 20 pixels, and we see how it looks. Okay, it wasn't imported for some reason. Did I put it in the right place? Oh god, I put them in the level 3, which I shouldn't be. Okay, I put them in the level 3. It should be here. Okay, now I should see them. See that? But I can see there's a lot of space on the left. Let's debug it together and see what is wrong there. So I know in the template that one have hover, so I can debug the list down. Okay. Okay, because I did text center to the element. I don't need these things. Or should I just keep them actually? It doesn't look that bad, but no, let's remove it. What else is adding into it? So this thing's really good. It will help you to learn how to debug as well. So I have a 45 pixels in the padding, which is coming from here. Okay, let's keep it 10 up. 55 on the right. No, I don't need that much. Let's fix all these things. Okay, I just want to make it look nicer. I'll make 20 pixels up and down and 15 pixels right and left. 20 pixels up and down and 15 pixels right and left. And that 20 looks so bad, I'll just reduce it and see how it looks. Okay, 10 looks much better. Okay, so this one, where it is on line 67. So I go line 67 and I will change this. And we say we don't need all these things at the moment. We just remove all this stuff, clean up our code. There we go. Nice. Okay, so we're able now to show our submenus. We're able to add icons. Okay, now let's see how we can show the third one, which should be now familiar with it. So what I will do, I will come here. This is my level 3. I'll say, okay, this one is class menu, but level 3. And I have it somewhere else as well. I'll say level 3. Okay, so basically this one going to show up when your menu item level 2 direct child li have hover. Okay, so we go here and I will come down here, direct child li hover, then I want my menu item, my menu level 3 to show up. Display block. Okay, so I hover here, see it, it's coming there. Okay, but as you can see again, it doesn't have the styling, it's pushing up the counters, it should show up here. Okay, so, and the one which they have also these little items, I want to have an icon here as well for them. Okay, so let's add first an icon to them. So this one will be now arrow, right? And I want free this one. Okay, so copy this and I will go to here next to my workflow and I need I there, and next to my template 1, and also I will have arrow there. So this one will have 2 icons and we'll see something will happen. Oh no, actually it will not, because this one will target with the class, which is good. So I'll go back to my page, refresh. You can see here that icon is showing there. Okay, so now what I will say, this chevron right, what I will do, I'll just do this, copy same class I have already and target it. I'll say, okay, dot menu level 2 direct li, okay, space, no, yeah, space, and then whatever elements have this class. I know it's an icon, and I will say font size is I'll make it smaller. I'll say 13 pixels. Okay, it's become smaller. Now let me do this hover. Oh no, this one hover, so I can see it. I don't have to keep refreshing. Now I'll come here. I say this icon, I want it to be in the right side. Okay, so how I can do that easily? You go to the parent, you make sure this one is display flex, which I removed before because we don't need it, but now we need it. Display flex. Okay, and then you come to this eye and you say, okay, this one margin left auto, See that? It push it up to the end. Okay, so I'll come here, I'll say okay, this one will be margin right auto, and I'll say okay, the one above it, which is the li, it should be display flex. So that margin left will work. Flex. Okay. Oh, margin left, sorry. See, it didn't work. Okay, there we go. Now you see that one is not, that chevron, it's not in the middle here with the text. Okay, so we have to fix that. So you come back to the parent and you say text, no, justify content center, and align items center. See, now it's become in the middle with the content itself. Okay, good. But we can see these guys has been pushed to the right. So let's see why it did that. So we have this, and we come here, because of the text center, it did that. Okay, I just remove this. There we go, now it's cleaner. Okay, so this one will vertically align. The one I removed, it centralize the content horizontally. Okay, now what we want to do is, see here we have this jumping again. So I think the LIs always will have same styling. Let's see if I remove this, not, you see that they get the same styling. I want that to stay like that. So here I'll not keep it direct child of the first menu, but anything beneath it to have the same style. Now the menu level 3, I need to position it absolute as I did for the menu level 2. So I'll come here, I'll say level 3, and let's see if you keep same style for both of them, what will happen. Okay, good. So you see it's now sitting on the top. Only bad thing is that it went too much up, and the reason is because it's positioned absolute to the page, not to the parent content. And to make it to the parent content, the parent content should be position relative. Okay, so I'll come here, I'll say position relative. Okay, as you can see, it looks a bit funky. Okay, and I know the reason why. So let me first get my menu up. So again, I need the first one. I say it's hover. Which one? This one. Hover, so I can see the second one. And then I go to which one? To this one. I do hover to see the third one. Okay, so the reason is that we position this absolute, but we have to tell it absolute in which positions. So I'll just come here for now. I'll say okay, the top should be 0 because I want it to be top 0 of my li. So on top of my li, see just after the margin, you can see that's my third component. I will make it maybe different color background for now. Background yellow. Okay, so you can see the difference. Okay, so this is my li, and it's my third list. So you see it's where it's standing when it's at top 0, just below my margin. Okay, it's sticking to that. That's the top 0. So it's top 0 comparing to the main parent, which have position of relative. Okay, and now okay, now it's saying okay, top 0 is nice, but it's staying on top of my previous menu or the parent menu. I want to be here. Okay, so I want to be pushed 100% of the parent. So I will say left 100%, and there it is. Okay, my menu is staying just right there. So this one is for menu level 3. I have to add this styles, but not the yellow background. What I will go here and I'll say okay, menu level 3 have extra thing than the menu level 2, which are the followings. Okay, so there it is, and you can see here still my last child of the third level having that border. So what I will do here, I'm not say direct, but whatever li under any list, the last one I want to have bottom, don't have a border bottom, so border bottom is 0. Okay, nice. Okay, let me remove that yellow background, which I did. Is there because it's here, so it's overtaking. So let me refresh my screen. Hard refresh. Okay, there we go. Nice, nice. There we go. See, we didn't even touch this. We were working on that, but still it worked by itself because we have same structure schema and same classes. Now just add an icon here, and that one we already added, and we'll be done with that. Okay, so what I will do here, I'll say in the products I have this icon, and I will just add it next to the template. Okay, for some reason this one become big, this icon. Remember, we make it small. Let's see what happened to it. I think I did not I did it here in the browser, but I didn't do it here. Okay, so this one will be has sub item. So if I do that one later down, I can just use same class. So I'll just do this one. I'll say okay, the direct child I. I'm just searching what is here so I can keep them next to each other. And direct child I. I want font size, I think we did 10 pixels. There we go. Good. You see here? Now our menu looks much better. Okay. Now next one, what we want to do is that, let's see if these guys have responsive to get an idea what we want to do. Yes. So what I want to do when I make my screen smaller, I want to be able to have this, the menu disappear. When I click it, then it will show up this place. Okay, so this one will be combination of CSS and JavaScript. So maybe what I will do in the next video is just explain first what is JavaScript, some basics. Later I'll create a full crash course on JavaScript, just in basic introduction, so you can get into it and start building and finishing up our menu. Okay, so stay tuned, subscribe, hit the alert buttons. Whenever I push my next video, you'll get notified so you can continue your course.